How you going, people? This is such a earning to hate. These cops are horrible.
Arms down your side. Why are you shaking so much?
It's freezing, man. Look at you. You got all these clothes on, and I got shorts on, and it's raining. And you false accusing me, so of course I'm gonna be a little nervous. Yeah.
This pisses the cop off. This is a good kid. Earning to hate. Welcome to another episode of Earning the Hate. So this video, if you want to go watch it, it's on this guy's channel, Police Wrongful Arrest. I'll try to remember to put a link, but I'll probably forget. He's playing sports. I think he's in college. I watched it a while ago. I've been wanting to do it. He gets pulled over, I think, for lights. I can't even remember why he got pulled.
Oh, is it?
No.
Yeah, I turned on one. So I just came up bright.
Hi there.
How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good.
My name's Officer Winters with the Newton Police Department. The reason I pulled you over is because you have your bright lights on.
Bright lights on. It's raining. It's at night. And you may want to see a little bit better. So now, because you have your bright lights on and it got this guy, as soon as I saw this cop making a traffic stop when it was raining, I said, this is personal. Most cops do not get out of the car when it's raining. That's why it pisses me off when they only write tickets when the weather's good. And then you got idiots out there going, Rick, they're trying to keep you safe, and I'm glad they're writing tickets because people drive fast and they keep me safe. Yeah, that's because you're an idiot. They only write tickets when the weather's good, you freaking idiots. It's not about keeping you safe. It's about getting freaking money and harassing. But I digress. This is a really good video. This kid puts it out. He goes through it. They get him out of the car. He's not drinking. He asks him if he does drugs. He detains him. He makes him do these field sobriety tests in the cold, rain outside. When a guy passes the test, he says, maybe you're under the influence of something else. You got a bald-headed cop here. Yeah, that's right. I'm picking on him. Bald-headed cop here who has no freaking ethics whatsoever to say this guy. I think this guy might say, I don't think he looks that drunk or something doing this. But then after they go through all this, he blows 0 on the breathalyzer, saying he's not under the influence. He's had no alcohol like he told him. That's not good enough for this cop because he's pissed off. You'll be able to tell it in here. He gets his little panties in a knot, hooks this guy, brings him down to the station, detains him, ruins his night, I think tows his car. They have to give him a ride home. This guy might have been cracking jokes on him. I mean, it is just total BS what they put this kid through. And then they end up letting go. So he brings him back to a DRE, a drug recognition expert, which I was. I'm certified. I'm sure I'm out of certification now, but I have the certificate. I went through school. The DRE luckily had ethics, and when the DRE did all his tests on him, he said, you ain't under the influence of nothing. Even though the other cop wanted the arrest and wanted him to. There are a lot of DREs that would have said, yeah, he's probably under the influence of something. Let's go get blood. You can go ahead and arrest him. But luckily, this guy, now this guy with the little blue line here is the one that got offended because of the bright lights, the one that pulled him over, the one that showed him who was boss, that detained him for hours, and then at the end kind of comes in and kind of listens to him and says, yeah, well, you know, whatever. It is such a BS stop and detention. I wish this kid would sue and get big money. I think this is where the DRE is telling him he ain't drunk.
He's fumbling through.
It is 12:55 in the a.m.
Go ahead. That wouldn't make you better
So
up.
he's fumbling through his registration, looks at it, says.
This is where he's trying to make up his lies on why he thinks the guy's drunk. He ought to be worrying about how many freaking donuts he's eaten, but instead he wants to pick on this guy. Probably jealous of this guy because he's got better hair and he's freaking in shape and he doesn't look like freaking a Pillsbury Doughboy or fucking a Michelin Man. This cop really irritated me, as you can tell.
Is the insurance on the car?
Punk. Total punk.
Come back. Stop. Can't go.
So maybe this is where he's explaining all this to the DRE.
So my name's Drew. I work here at the police department. Alright, so it sounds like you got traffic stopped.
Yep.
Just for my brights, and then you accused me of being drunk. And I was like, you can blow me right now, I'm not drunk. Sure.
Wait, can you go in now?
Yeah, go ahead.
He said it smells like you smell like alcohol. Your breath smells like alcohol. I'm like, okay, let's blow it. I blow, and all of a sudden he's like, do you smoke weed?
after you said I smell like alcohol. So he's really trying to force it. He's trying to force something, even though he knows I'm on nothing. He's just not trying. He's trying to be.
This kid is 100% accurate and told the truth the entire time. This is such a travesty of justice, and this goes on all the time, and there is zero accountability for cops falsely arresting, accusing, not doing their job, not being held to a standard, not being documented every time they do something like this so you can get a record. It's just swept under the rug, and they continue to abuse the citizens. And they wonder why nobody has respect for cops or gives a shit when they're getting shot and nobody wants to help them.
Right, even though he's wrong.
Go ahead.
I'm being completely honest with him.
Yeah.
Like, you look at my record, nothing's on my record. I play college football, so I don't do drugs.
Sure.
It has to be wrong.
Guy plays football, he's in college. He's trying to ruin this guy's entire career and life. Maybe get him kicked out of college. He doesn't care. This cop, not this cop here, the one that stopped him. This DRE's a good dude because he says, hey, he ain't under the influence. Let him go.
I'm here for no reason.
Like a sprained ankle
Yeah,
or something?
right before I did the test, but I said, hey, I'm good enough. It's not going to affect me.
Okay.
You know, keep my shit straight.
Okay. So here's where I come in, right?
Yep.
I have different certifications than Officer Winters. I have a drug recognition expert certification.
Yes, sir.
So my training, it does involve field sobriety.
A DRE, basically you do the field sobriety test, but you do other things. You do the Romberg, the 30-second clock. You take their blood pressure. You check their eyes and dark and lightness. You go through it. There's a complete, bigger, more in-depth checklist that you do for DRE. And then when I get all the results of all that, I can tell through kind of a matrix system that if this is this and this, he's probably on this, and if this is this, he's probably on that, etc. It was a great course. It was an 80-hour course, 2 weeks, and I learned a lot about. I mean, I forgot most of it now, but whatever. And I was pretty accurate when I said somebody was on influence. They were.
So I'm going to ask you to do some of the stuff you've already done. He's going to do it, so he's going to do it. So he wants to do the eval.
So if he wouldn't do this, they were just going to go book him. And the guy's like, I got nothing to hide, I'll do it. But the fact that he could have went to jail for not doing this is another bullshit. So he's taking a pulse here. This is a DRE farm. This is the nystagmus horizontal gaze, HGN, they call it horizontal gaze nystagmus test. We're looking for, this is the 30-second internal clock. We're looking for balance. We're looking for, can you estimate 30 seconds? The walking straight line, turn, etc. Hold the leg up 30 seconds.
How you doing?
Got to take his blood pressure.
And then at first, he was like, I smell alcohol. I was like, okay, let's blow it. Dude, you're on drugs. Yeah. I'm a demo.
That right there is called a pupillometer. This is where I slide and I tell normal pupils in this area. If you're on heroin or opiates, your pupil gets smaller. If it goes up and bigger, you're on stimulants, methamphetamine, coke, etc.
Police officer, you're pull me over. What?
I think he's talking to his sister or mom in here.
You're being arrested. It's right next to him, too. I'll call you back in a little bit.
Do you have a shirt underneath your sweater?
Sorry.
That's right. It's like blood pressure cuff.
This is called the night viewing, where you go in a dark room and you have to stand. This is kind of the most dangerous part of a DRE, because we take some guys in there, and I didn't like being in a dark room. Usually you have two guys there for cover, and he's kind of standing back, but it's still got to be complete darkness for, I think, 30 seconds to a minute, and then you check his pupil response to light. Is it good? Does it bounce, etc.?
The dark tattoos?
YouTube videos of...
Okay.
Because, like, when I was younger, I used to get, like, flamed for having big nose. Looks fine to me.
Go ahead and stick your tongue out. I'm going to do the same thing with this white light, okay?
Okay.
Whenever you just go to relax your elbow.
Started.
You're right.
Okay, here you're looking for muscle rigidity. You're looking to see if he's stiff. When people are on stimulants, they're usually sweating. Their skin will be different, but they'll be very stiff. They don't move. They can't relax.
So your mom is also here. I have no evidence or no information to suggest that you're under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Good for him. I applaud this cop. This cop gets a donut for not falling. There are a lot of cops. I talk about a guy named Strosky that used to work at the DA's office, and he was promoted lieutenant. He was a buddy's friend, and he had child porn, and he used to drive his freaking car around the high school. And he worked with young girls and invited interns to his house and walked out with towels. I mean, it was just a disaster, this guy. But he was a voice stress analysis expert. And if you wanted your guy to be guilty, he would be like, "Hey, man, what does this guy do? Okay, you want me to find?" He would ask before you went in there, "You want me to find him guilty or what?" I'm like, dude, I want an honest evaluation of the test. I want the truth. You know, it just irritated me that he was willing. If I'd have said, "Yeah, I want you to say this guy's guilty," he would have done it. And I mean, that's just the way he was, and that's the way that, you know, the chief was, and that's the way the DA, Jeff Reisig, was, that they surround themselves with people that they call team players, meaning you go along to help us promote what we want, not getting to the truth and doing the right thing. But I digress. Anyway, good video. If you want to go watch the whole thing, it's 40 minutes. This kid does a good thing, and this cop that stopped him is just a complete jerk. I think at the end here, the cop comes in and listens to him. This guy is a walk of shame. Yeah, you're not only are you a dumbass punk, you're a tyrant, you abuse your authority, you don't give a shit, and you're a dickhead because somebody had their brights on. You're going to put them through all this and ruin their freaking life. What a punk. Not only are you at a walk of shame, you should be in the Hall of Fame for earning the hate. All right, we'll end that there.